Yeah. We're back. We're bopping, yeah, because we got some real serious music playing, and the one and only Dre Marshall is happening. We're tinkling. We're going into his brain, you know, because I'm one of those guys, and I need to know more about what's happening back there. Writing for me is, for many people, it's like out there, you know. It's like, it's okay to write. I write pretty fluently. I love to write, but writing structure, and how do you develop that? Is that something, or do you write structurally? How do you put yourself together?
Well, there's inspiration, of course, which causes writing, but I think the best way to explain it, the best way to understand it is, everybody in the world has their own music. To a doctor, you know, or a surgeon, when he gets that knife and he begins to cut, that's his music. To a basketball player, when he shoots a jump shot, that's his music. So writing that's my music. It's just something I do well. It's not something that really can be taught if it's not natural. You can become skilled at it, but it's something that it comes from within. You have to be inspired. You have to be creative. You have to be adventurous. You have to be able to see what it is that you're looking to do and to put on paper. And so it's just my form of music. You know, their music is computers, but actual music is my music. So,
You listen to other rappers when you got started, right? You were listening to, or did you?
I've never really been a big rap fan.
Right.
There are some that are very great, but I more so listen to music. I'm very well versed in music. From Italian, you know, opera, to messianic music, to, you know, I love reggae. That's probably my first favorite. That's my first favorite genre of music. To, you know, pop, to Japanese. So I really don't pay much attention to rappers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because a lot of rappers or hip hop gospel rappers, they come from the hip hop side, from the secular side.
Never done secular music. Never done.
I hear that. That's
never
really
been a secular artist.
No, but there was something you said though. You said you'd love to, or no, I don't want to paraphrase. But the idea was, you were talking about this secular artist and saying you'd love to be on this stage with, or
well, more so to be on the same platform,
to be
in the level of quality of
quality. Okay, that's it, right.
I share the stage with secular artists now, and I think it's great.
That was what I wanted to go to.
Go for it.
Yeah. How do you feel about sharing the stage? Is there a conflict? Is there an issue with that?
Not for me, maybe
Not
for
for
church people, but
Right.
not for me personally. The question is, you know, more importantly, you know, I always ask this question: if Christian music is for Christians, then we say our music is to reach the lost. Then what type of music do we make? And then where do we want to be? Do we want to be in a pulpit?
But in other words, the lost are not Christians yet, right?
Not at all.
How do you reach them?
How do you reach
I
them?
asked that same question. I asked that same question a few weeks ago. How do you reach them?
It's always, I mean, the truth is, if you want to go fishing, where do you go? You go to a pond. If you want to go buy a car, where do you go? You go to a car lot. So if you want to go to reach and to attempt to attract or attempt to capture unbelievers, you have to go where they are. And they're not in church. Now, will they go to church? Yeah, maybe one or two go to church. But the truth of the matter is, depending on what your bait is, determines not only what you'll catch, but also your geographic location, if I can use a big word, but where you're at determines what you'll catch.
Go ahead.
So,
don't let me stop you, man.
Nah, but
No,
that's really
serious.
it. That's really it.
You know, I just made mental notes. It's not. Wait. I gotta get it right. what you're gonna catch or your bait depends on what you catch.
Yeah, absolutely. What you catch depends on your bait and also where you're at. You can't go like, okay, there's a lot of places to fish here. If you want to catch shark, you can't go to a pond and catch a shark. You got to go into the ocean. If you want freshwater fish, you can't go in the salt water, you know?
Let me throw some.
You know, and so I think a lot of times, a lot of people say their music is evangelistic, but they're not ever in the hood. They say,
Who
like,
they're reaching. They're
like
preaching to the choir.
exactly. All due respect, Lecrae is a great artist. He's accomplishing a lot now. He's not he's a church rapper. His music edifies and it encourages and it builds up believers. That's not what I do. And so there's so many, just because people rap or just because you grew up in poverty, right? I go into the places where the lost are. We go into the streets. I was just in Haiti 2 weeks ago, and we went to places where they didn't know who Jesus was. So when I'm rapping to them and then explaining who God is, then that brings something different. But rapping a song with a bunch of Christian words in it only talks to Christian people, and that's not my goal or my purpose. You know, I want to reach the people that love Rick Ross, the people that love Jay-Z, the people that love Kanye, the people that love The Roots. Some of us want to reach the people that love Creflo Dollar and the people that love Jerry Falwell and the people that love Miles Monroe. They're already saved. I don't want to talk to them. They can listen to my music. Thanks for your support. But I'm looking to reach people who need God's love. That's what I want. And that's my goal. Yeah. And I'm not going to find that in church every Sunday morning. I'm going to find that in the streets. You know, I'm going to find that, you know, Goombay Festival. I'm going to find out where Lil Wayne is. That's where I want to be. With the same quality, and I'll even be more effective because of the Holy Spirit inside of me coming out and touching these people. Because the truth is, half of your church is in the club the night before. So maybe if we go to the club and stick it to them there, maybe Sunday morning you'll get a nice vibe. So
one thing I notice, right, is that whenever I go somewhere that another artist is doing something, a lot of times I see you there. And that's interesting for me. What's that all about?
It's a couple of things. Support is one, of course. People who are great, I support. I have people think this is an arrogant statement, but it's really not. If you're not better than me, there's not much you can say to me. And you can say, you know, people have an issue with that, but the truth is, even though Dre, you know, is a nice guy, you probably don't want me to be your physical trainer or your nutritionist, you know, because I'm not this perfect figure. You know what I'm saying? Even though I love me, you love me. But so I go to observe a lot of great artists a lot of times because I'm learning. I want to learn from them, even those that are on my level, and even some that people, oh no, you're better than them, but they do something very great, and I want to learn.
From your perspective,
right? From my perspective, they're great. And then secondly, a lot of times I'm there to help or be on a show with them, to support them with using my gift. And then sometimes I'm just chilling. I love music. I do love music, you know. So I like to be at shows. I love to show face and support.
Talking about support, when Marsha contacted you about, you know, coming on, you said you had a friend that you wanted to bring on too, and it just made sense to me, just based on what I've seen before, that you always, you know, either supporting or, you know, being involved with. So we want to introduce to the DML family someone that Dre Marshall brought on, and this is the one and only Mahogany.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do that.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. So welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good,
really
good.
And
Yeah,
yes, Dre does have a knack and a heart for support, and yeah, the body just edifying it. You know, really showing love.
There you go. You know, I'm getting information flowing in, because one of the things we don't do is we don't prepare our guests. We don't, because we want to have a conversation. We really enjoy having a conversation. And I find that when we have this conversation, I learn, and it's not structured. So we get to go back and forth. But what we're going to do is, since we introduced you, we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to come back in and talk to Dre Marshall and Mahogany.